For me, it really, they spoke on the desk about their catching up, so, you know, need those opportunities. But I just look at Rebels and I think...
They haven't banned away the Monty here as the early ban. Instead, it's the Deimos, which was a ban that came out later in the game from Geekay. So a small couple of changes around. I'm kind of surprised not to see the Monty being ran, but that's how things stand. The Lems kicking things off with the entry. Yupa falling down, who had a couple of tough maps, I've got to say, yesterday, Tim. I think he'll be looking for a bit of a stronger showing today, but on the Capital to fall down so early, that is not so good. A Lems in towards the second, getting one over on Yogg and securing the trade.
Towards a Lem, so it was almost like he didn't know that he was there, and then he's got himself a second as well. Marto manages to pick up Groovy. That's going to be the Grim gone. You haven't got your man yet. Need to keep fighting here, Sarks, which he will do, but it's a third for a Lems. They've done very little about him. There's been no disruption onto...
Ready to speak. They had the Monty banned away against them last time. It was a to be a Monty ban. So with this being, I mean, okay, fair enough. That happens sometimes. Did it to be there so quick, and they're paying the price for being dumped in. The plant already going on down. He's got a C4. No, he'll try and spray away at the feet, and Groovy scared off for a second. Sarks makes it a second, and we've got the Yokai's up above at the same time. They can hold on here, Tim, but their numbers are dwindling quickly.
Yeah, I don't think that GK need to force the plant here, to be honest. I think they go in and they just use the Monty now. They've got the extra man, even with Fenor finding Yogg, they've got the extra player. You've got to win your gunfights, though. That's the problem. Sarks loses a big one there to Asa on that office door. They are going to go for the plant again, but it is getting shaky here as Rebels continue to fight back. Ast gets one. Too little too late with the Yokai, though. Plant goes down, and the momentum that was looking like it favoured Rebels swings back in the direction of G2. Sorry, of GK, but not ideal. Groovy starts fighting back with that pistol, gets his man, closes out the round, and that was chaos in the last 30 seconds.
I'm going to say they're stepping across a massive risk, but keep yourself alive and well, though they saw again the arm to step out for a second, and Yupa rips the head off of Asa, who's stepping out, I believe, with a C4 in hand. Certainly a little bit of a yeet to get that one all the way to the window and pays the price for it. So 2 kills starting things out for GK. They were here last time, though, Tim. We found them in a 5v3. They took it all the way down to a 1v2. Yogg, though, ensuring they maintain that advantage for now. And the walls are starting to close in here. On towards Linku. Gets away with one, but there's a shield in front of his face. And no doubt a player on Solar. He knows that swing is coming. Didn't quite know when, but As gets the kill. Marto left all alone. Yupa with the close. GK with a really good third round.
Of advantage there, Sarks and Yupo picking those two up.
The world for them, but still painful to lose the entry.
The problem with this site and losing the entry, Groovy does actually get taken down as I'm speaking. Marto manages to pick him up. Linku and Yupo in a direct trade through.
The turret they've got to roll out. So it's not like there's loads more to worry about clearing away. Tiny little bit of softening up inside the site itself, but without loads of vertical here, it does mean you might find Rebel players able to sit in little, dare I call them rat corners, or sometimes quite relatively open and punish you for it. They've got this hatch, and that could be absolute hell for them. Sarks, well, he's fed into the bait there and triggered the Razor Bloom. Feno steps out for his second in the round. Ask with it all to do. They're just going to sit and wait for him to step his way down, and sure enough, that's exactly what he does. They know that he's now pushing his way in through lobby. A challenge in towards Feno, who comes away on top of this one. Feno's giving it a good old 1-2, though. As can't win it out. Feno with the
mezzanine. It's going to be Feno on the Thorn. Has played his Razor Blooms particularly well. We saw a great example of it last time. How about that from Groovy, though? Marto's going to be kicking himself. Should have got the kill there, but...
In terms of vertical control, I'd say they're looking for it. There's not a whole lot they can do with it once they've got it, mind you. They've only got 2 breaching charges in the back pocket of Groovy here. As kills start getting exchanged, it's Ask on towards the mute, a key one to find, but Linku, that name again appearing in your kill feed.
HP, so most guns are going to manage to find the kill onto him. 4 versus 3. They're away. Yoga manages to shut him down, and that's why you always pick your players up. You never know what they're going to do later in the round. U4 manages to find Linku. 4 versus 1, and it is now just a case of find a bit of space and put the diffuser down, which Ask begins to do. Fighting from the hatch, though. Asa manages to get 2. That's going to be the plant stopped as well, Des. 4v1 becomes 2v1. GK, they could have a problem here.
Is it a bait?
It is, but he knows.
Looks like it might be. Thinking playing this game all day is going to be that problem here. Does he know? Yes, he does. And he gets the down as well. Oh, no. Pushing up Solar Stairs could have been the play, I would have thought. Will he be able to get his man up, though? Looks like he will. hasn't got the angle on towards him. One of them has to hold these verticals. One has to go for the plant as they come in towards these last 5 seconds. They're going to try again. That's looking in towards the wrong spot, though. No, they're back in the same place they were earlier, but he doesn't have any idea, Tim. He was so close. A second or so away, and maybe we're celebrating an amazing clutch, but instead, this now looks like an impossible comeback for us, sir.
Yeah, that was really rough for Asa. He was so in control of that situation. I thought he was just going to keep picking the right plant spot every single time. Gets his man, though. 1v2 becomes 1v1. We've got a flip reversal. Sox has gone upstairs. Is he going to be able to find the angle? Asa's going to stick it. He's going to get away with it. A 1v4 clutch from Asa. This one wasn't too early, but in the first half of the round. But then there's not much to follow from there. Opportunity for Fenor to level it up, which he does. And all of a sudden, that big entry that Geekay got is a little bit neutralized. 3 versus 3.
Yeah, the battling back and forth lost those 2 key capabilities. And the softer capabilities they've got in the ace and the IQ, gone. A swing from Lincoln, surely a freebie. No! Should have had his name every single day of the week, but Ask is second in the round being collected. It's a 3 versus 2. Makes it a 3rd for himself. Not at all a bad showing. Asta's already pulled off a 1v4, Tim. What's a 1v3 in the next?
It should be easy street now, shouldn't it? The only thing is he doesn't have that verticality to play with that he showed us so well last time. It feels like Geekay know exactly where he is as well, which they do. Wow. Ask finds his man as he comes around the corner, and that is going to...
Should not have been on their way. They should have lost that one because they hesitated in the execute as well when they're in attack. Hesitation is killing their victory, basically.
47% win rate. They do tend to fare much better on the defense than they do on the attack. So there is still an opportunity for Geekay here. Early challenge comes in. Ask manages to get one. He is surrounded, was always going to be taken down, but look who he took out.
The Solar tucks in behind the pillar. And if he had, he would have been dead to rights. Just that floor, as you've seen, had already been blown out. Not quite pulling the trigger there. Stars could have had a freebie on towards Marto. It's Asa elsewhere to find one for himself and starts his march on forward. Does he know about Groovy? He does, but does not manage to hit the shots. 3 versus 2. Looking a little bit ropey here for Rebels, Tim, as now we're in a 1v3. All to do for Marto. GK starting the half off strong.
Yeah, it just felt a little bit separate. It's not to say that Marto isn't able to win this out. You know, we've seen him win the biggest clutch of stage 1 without question, but I think it's fairly unlikely now. 3 seconds, that'll tick by. He's not going to get anything. And I think GK have played that round as a team much more than Rebels did. So
being left in a 1 versus 3. Saul needed a kill of some kind there, but Ask, speaking of the devil, lies straight down to him. He is surviving everything right now. Throw whatever you want at him, and he needs to come away on top.
How on earth did Ask survive for that long, can I ask? Yoga manages to find Fenor, takes him down 3v2. They know that he's on his belly. LMs is going to find Groovy. Takes him down 2v2. This round like a rubber band, back and forward. Jupo finds the trade. 2 versus 1. Yoga full health on the Warden, so he's not going to be bothered by the smoke that Marto's got in pocket. So it's looking pretty good for GK as it stands, but a 1v2 is very winnable. Sees his man. Jupo manages to spin, put the DMR to work, get the kill, and it's going to
Carnage that way. Looks like he's trying to go for the same, but he's just heard him move. Pretty slow, chunky operator, I'm afraid, is giving himself away, and now Marto at close range. No, we can't even find it. Ask out one of his own. Turns out his shotgun was a little bit better. It'll be a flawless round for GK, and once again, Tim, it feels like Rebels are just starting to crumble. That's 4 in a row.
Mind everybody of what's at stake here. The winner goes through to...
Can't be complaining. Certainly giving them a good show. Youper also alongside him, one of the quietest players yesterday. They're doing good, and Nate in the corner. Can he tuck in? He can indeed. For now, he's still here. Another Nate over the top. He's scared. He had to try and find a kill, but Linku knows all too well to back away, get behind the shield, and let the... This time round, of course, it's Rebels looking to get control of that upstairs. Starting his move here is Sarge. Not towards his side. The shield was waiting and ready. Patience of a saint there from Marto. Groovy elsewhere does get Fenno, though. So although it could have been a 5 versus 3 team, that gap still stays at 1. And just like that, it gets turned on its head once again. What is it with attackers not being able to hold on to a lead on this map, Tim?
Yeah, it's certainly been tough for them, and it's a top floor site as well, so I was just going to say GK can just kind of drop back and take the fights as they come. They don't need to, they just get them as they...
Tim?
It's a...
You're on mute. You were on mute, weren't you? Yeah, brilliant.
I've told you before. It's
half out of them.
The shield is in above. Ooh, that was a little bit of a late flash there. Not going to get the job done. Thorn will not remain alive, however, because he gets picked up from an alternate angle anyway. Asa manages to find him. Sark's taken down, and despite what I said about GK maybe having a little bit of a plan, a little bit of an unknown here, Rebels coming. Knows there's going to be some pressure. Here's the nade, goes for the spray, doesn't find any damage. Game of cat and mouse continues. Nice. However, it's Linko and LMs who managed to pick up the next two. 1v5, plant going down. Yupa has certainly got his work cut out. Does manage to find the kill and drop the diffuser, but you still feel like it is unlikely to be enough. We have seen a 1v4 successfully pulled off by Asa tonight, though. Yupa could go one better here. Just dodges out of the way of that nade, but as he gets up on top of the utilities in the corner, in SI, which was 2022. So, yeah, I think it was somewhere around there. But how about that? Asa well in position. Asa no chance but to try and dash to...
The mistakes with Shally where they're going around doing their own thing at times and they're not really on the same page. They look very aligned on what it is they're trying to accomplish, and in both rounds have really punished a GK using the verticals. Once again, it's building out that way. Once again, they're in a 5 versus 3 and could be yet again headed towards a near flawless round.
Push just holding that long angle through onto mining window, gets the opportunity, and it is as easy as that to pick up Marto. At least gets GK back into things, but as I said, that Fenor manages to find the trade 4 versus 2. Groovy trying to make his way back towards site here, but he knows that he's held from White Stairs, rotates instead through pillars, but he's held from New Hatch. It is tough to move anywhere whilst the plant is going down as well. The kills come in. That's going to be that. Rebel seeing if they can find those verticals there, but nothing doing at the minute. How about that though? Straight in. Asa manages to get a double. That's going to be Ask and Groovy taken down. Upor as well. 2 versus 2 though. As Yoga fights back on the belly. Does the job. The Mozzie picks up the kill. Sarks finds them now in a 2 versus 2. Get this back to a 1v1 to have any hope. 35 seconds left to go, so he still has a little bit of time to work with, but it is certainly slipping through his fingers like sand through an hourglass. Sarks manages to pick up the final killers. Need to start worrying about the clock, get the ram inside. It's going to be Marto's job, of course, to start doing that work. How about that though? Groovy, second round in a row where he's managed to pick up the opener, and it's been Fenor both times, becoming a little bit of a tete-a-tete, a little bit of a head-to-head between those two at the beginning of these rounds. Toxic Babe Canister is going to back up Asa as well. GK getting themselves well back into this one. 5 versus...
It's like a little bit too much to worry about, right? You can put all this time in towards getting vertical control if you really want, but the problem you then got is that everyone just spreads out laterally and you still got an entire ground floor to clear out. Marto left in a 1 versus 5. It feels like it's going to be a flawless round coming out for GK as he rounds on towards White. 1 HP to his name. It's about to say almost lost his head off there to Yoga, but doesn't matter what he does in these next 35 seconds, Tim, they aren't going to find the round going their way. Adaptation, unsuccessful.
Yeah, Marto, so much so, he's going to get himself up onto the rooftop and losing 2 rounds in a row. Rebels, I think, feeling that it's time for a little bit of an unofficial timeout. Have a chat within the team, see if there's anything they can do, because look, they can't let this one slip too far away from them. That is the problem. They're on the attacking half. They'll feel like they can do some work here on Cafe on the... Tell you what, that smoke just detonating there might well have saved his life. Ask does pick up the opener. Is that now going to be converted by GK? Linko going in, looking to see if he can get himself into a tricky spot.
He is in quite a good spot, actually, but while for every second he wastes, his team is kind of falling apart. Asa dangerous to know, but not yet taken out, and here he is. Springs up inside the bar, looks for the second, but Ask is there for the trade. 3v2. GK looking.
The radar, 45 seconds left to go, ticking down. Rebels, they need a kill before they can, I was going to say, before they can think about trying to get a plant down. That really changes things.
Yeah, it's almost like in a sense Linko had the same problem upstairs where he was being, granted, very, very cautious and very careful and quiet about things, but arguably left it a little bit too long, and now they may well pay the price. Knows where the Kaid is, and no, Yupa's going to find the kill. As GK looking pretty good.
It's on the back of this, sees his opportunity, takes a pot shot at Cocktail, doesn't manage to connect any damage.
I think it's a bit mental trying to take a fight onto Naruni with a pistol. I won't lie. Either way, they managed to find one. They've found two. Astra's capitalizing off the back of the damage being caused by the shield. In he comes for a third. Not even looking at him, Tim. His teammates doing all the work and stretching their attention. He's walked in and got a 3. And now in a 3v2.5 a round to play. Surely they can't see themselves losing this round.
You wouldn't have thought so, but 2v3, I was going to say 2v3 is not necessarily the end of the world for GK, but the shield makes it particularly difficult. Now that it's a 1v3, it makes it practically impossible. We can see Sarks just rotating around goals.
White stairs,
White stairs up.
that's it.
No door, maybe red stairs. Where and focus on.
I can already tell you what Geekay will do. It's the classic. They're gonna
Dealt with, hatch being opened up. Now the real question is, the Rebels avoid exposing themselves to early kills in the same way that GK did in the majority of those rounds. The answer starts out with a resounding no. A booming no, in fact, Tim.
More character, majority, if not the rest of this round, if he plays this well.
Oh, do they know about Feno? No, they don't. Did you see what they're... Oh, no, Groovy! He's letting slip the net. It should have been an easy trade to pick up, but I had no idea where he was and pays the price. And like that, Feno is on an absolute tear. May have an ace coming out of this round if he gets his final kill. A couple of bullets land. Yupa, well, might just hide away here and let the clock do the work for him. But this one looks done. Feno surely fancying the step out, and he gets the ace, Tim, to kick off the half.
Yeah, really.
Keep on dancing around upstairs along with the other players that are up there looking in towards Feno, who's causing a bit of bother too. He has that ability to move up and down as he wants. He has actually teleported down to it, Tim, and that feels like a massive risk, but is it bait? I think that he might be, as they've now tried to get small bait control. He said, yeah, thank you very much. I'll teleport in and make this a bit of a headache for you, and he even gets away with it. Nicely done, but it's still GK with the advantage. Never mind, they haven't got the advantage anymore. How the hell has this happened, Tim? We're down to a 2 versus 1. Linku to clutch up big. Now GK bring things all even.
Does he know that the man is just inside a wedding? I think he does here with the approach, but surely he's been heard. Yes, Ask is there waiting. 4-4. That just gives them that little bit of an advantage. 25 seconds left to go. They're not going to check, Des. There's absolutely no chance. This is going to be, I think, a round-winning position.
Oh, no, and they know that he's dropped as well. And then they go for a plant in the back corner. Oh, you couldn't make it more perfect for him. A golden chance to spring up, and there we go. Onto the man getting the diffuser down. Panic stations down for the side of GK, and missed droning may well just cost them this round. They are out of time, Tim, and they're going to hold on. Rebels are going to find the round win off the back of Feno being a nice little rat.
Yeah, what is it's an easy area to miss because it's not often that you get 15 seconds left to go. One plant attempt has been denied. Yoga holding on to it. He's just continuing to wait for his opportunity. A little bit of aggression from the Yokai maybe gives an opportunity for GK though. 4 versus 2 as the kills come in with the backstab. But here we go. The Yokai does the job. They have to make it stick. They can't find it, Des. How do they let the Yokai get away? Of Marto's position here. They know that they've cleared out a shell, so he has to come back down from this side. Ash manages to find Linko. Lems doesn't have a choice now, really, other than to start getting aggressive on the clash. So he plants his shield and he starts looking to take some fights because he's going to have to. And he finds the first, taking down Ash. 4 versus 3. And as you see, he's just going to wait for the perfect... He's not going to overpeak this. He's now confident there's no nades left. So he's just waiting for those easy fights that he can take on. But as they move around to Bakery, it becomes more difficult for him. Sarks picks up the kill. 4 versus 2.
Again, I was really nervous then that we would see GK struggle to remove that shield. It's still going to sit there and carry on doing its thing. Asta, nice shot in the back from you, but then 3 versus 1. Marto got it all to do. Can't see him getting away with this one. He knows the plant's going down. He's heard it, but he won't be able to find his man. Although Sark's pulled off. He's going to relocate us over in towards Rice, maybe in towards the other side as well here. This is getting a little bit precarious now. So if he found the right spot on the vertical, it could have been all over, but no. Realizes he won't be able to get away with it. Diffuser will go down, which means it's a bit of a fight back here for Marto to try and keep his team going and get this into a 7-4. Sarks gets the shot. GK take us to round 12, but need to win it. It looks like they've already chewed their way through the vast majority of drones available to them, which means their information in this round is going to be limited. But how about that one for limited? Feno is shot in through the window. Ask having a good day so
on at the minute. Just waiting for that sand to pass on through, for that time to slip away. Nitro goes out, quick kills come in. The plant is successful though. It looks like they might have this one done. They've got a player down, Sarks. He will hit the deck. 4 versus 1. The big question that will follow, Des, is who is on which side for overtime. It's going to be exciting to see. We have Lems just dancing around trying to get anything going. They know exactly where he is. They cut him down to the wall, and we are going to overtime, Des. Any progress towards a plant or towards site itself?
Oh, but that's what they need there, Tim, is that second kill to roll on through. Back on Shelly, they lost a couple of rounds from this position. They're in a 5 versus 3. He hits that shot. Oh, it could have been generational, but doesn't quite get away with it. Linku, no, watch out, Titan! No! He's dropped himself onto a tracks and gone down from it. That is unfortunate, but entirely predictable. We saw it coming. It's a 3 versus 2.
Just weren't in a position to get aggressive as they might have liked. They're starting to work above now. Yoga does have diffuser in hand, but that's a really important kill. Asa managing to pick up Ask. Starks low health, Asa low health. This is going to be a nail biter right down to the wire. 15 seconds left to go. A little bit of breaching going on. Starks, I don't think they're aware of his position here. He might be able to hold on as Yoga gets the Lems and starts putting the diffuser down. He's got the cross. Surely he gets the kill. Yes, he does. Geekay take the lead and move on to the...
The Ask is standing in there, ready with that TCSG at range. So they try and force their way through, and the Warden off towards the side. They haven't even checked small baked in. That's a bit of a car crash disaster. They've dumped everything. Every smoke has been deployed. The glass has been in position. They've tried to make a plan happen, but they get nothing. A 4 versus 2 breaks out. Fenno and Linker to keep the dream alive. Otherwise, Geekay go to EWC.
Certainly looking that way. Linko takes a lot of damage as well. Fenno manages to find Ass, but they know where he's coming from. Starks picks him up from court check, and that leaves it all up to Linko. Not just 1 HP and a dream for him, Des. 1 HP and the dream of his entire team. He tries to move down to the bottom of red stairs. He knows there's 1 left. Starks finds his man, and Geekay qualifies.
I just love it. I just love it because of so many reasons. I think it means a lot for many players that are on a redemption arc. How many times have we seen Ask play for Black Dragons? Go to Liquid, get dropped by Liquid, go back to Liquid, get dropped again. The betrayals in his player's career. The number of times he thought he was going to stay on an active roster and ended up getting kicked off. For players like this, it's heartbreaks. And yet he travels all the way to Europe and rebuilds everything with his roster. He has a terrible kickoff and finally lives up to expectation. Yoga, same thing. So many different rosters, and yet never really achieved what he wanted. Grubby, how many times did he get benched as well? He had to go back to tier 2. It's basically a redemption story for so many of these players.
And it wasn't just a terrible kickoff as well for this roster. Let's not forget the first 3 games of this stage, they got beaten.
Speak to them. We do have Gruby on the line to ask him a few questions. Gruby, congratulations on making it to EWC. Talk to us about how much this means to you.
Yeah, first thing, hello. Well, I don't know what to say, to be fair. I mean, I think it's a relief from yesterday, you know, like we are all happy. Like we knew that we have to win this game, but it's not like we didn't think the game will be easy, you know, because we know that the other side is also fighting for the same stuff as we do, so we knew the game will be hard. But yeah, I mean, the cast, the comeback, like the way we managed to bring the 2 rounds back to make it overtime, like it was kind of relief from ourselves, you know. We are like, oh no, not again, you know, not again. Then we hit the comeback, and yeah, we are all happy, you know. Like I'm happy from the team, and overall I'm just happy from the mindset like way, you know, and from the mental part that we showed, that we don't really give up, we just play our game. And after we lost yesterday, for example, today we were like looking at like a new team, for example, you know. So
yeah, I think the mental aspect of your team was probably the biggest takeaway that we got from you guys, especially listening to the comms and seeing your reactions. And speaking of mental, did you feel any pressure for qualifying to EWC from your organization?
From the organization, no, but like the players, like we knew that we wanted to go there, you know, so the players had the pressure on themselves. I mean, I cannot speak for everyone, you know, but for example, for me, it's not like I put pressure on my side, but I wanted to be there, you know, so there was always a bit of pressure in my head. Not from the organization side, there was like no pressure, you know, just guys, you guys are playing great, just go fight for it and let's make it happen, you know.
And focusing on you, Grubby, I mean, we talked about your resurgence already in one of these many interviews that now you've given us, because that's many victories in a row now. I'm kind of sad you didn't say see you tomorrow. Maybe that's why you lost yesterday. That was the lucky charm, man. Every single interview.
Yesterday was a bad day from us, you know, like we went to the game overconfident and with low energy, and against a team like VP, it's always gonna punish you, you know, when you feel overconfident, you just like don't really change and you don't spot the things that you always spot, and it happened, you know, like well played to them, but we are there together in WC, you know, so that's where it matters, right?
And reflecting a little bit on your career, if I told you 12 months ago the roller coaster you'd go through from basically being dropped from Fnatic, losing onto your tier 1 spot, the whole journey through EML finals, we saw you in Malta, then we saw you at SI, that was crazy, then you join tier 1 again, and then you make it WC. I mean, man, what kind of a career is that?
Well, I think like the first thing, like I didn't really get dropped from Fnatic. Like I wanted to leave. We had to make our roster changes because we knew that the roster is not like playing well. So I decided that there's no point for me to being in there if, you know, like the roster won't perform. But overall about the career, like well, it's a roller coaster, but like everything happens for a reason. You know, I think I gained a lot of experience in tier 2, like how to treat the game, how blessed I am by playing in T1 and everything, and it just made me more hunger to actually win the stuff and be there at the top again, you know, and it paid off, you know, like scrimming 6 maps a day with tier 2 teams against everybody, like it pays off, you know, you learn a lot of new things and you develop as a player, you know, like outside of the game and in-game, you know.
If we fast forward a few weeks to Paris, Grubby, I know we've got the rest of the playoffs to play through, and we'll do that next week. But if we fast forward a few weeks, you'll be going up potentially against, I don't know, FaZe Clan, Furious, Liquids, Dark Zeros of the world. Another team you might also join, or you will also join at EWC, is VP. I don't know if you saw the interview with Nako yesterday. One of the things that he said about your team was that it's all just luck, luck, luck. And I wanted to just ask you outright, is there any more to your team's game than just that?
Well, to be fair, the guy who only plays shields and like plays of that cannot say something about lag, because I want to see him next stage when there won't be no shields, because you know. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's only lag, you know. I think every team has a different playstyle, and for everyone, it like the stuff works different, you know. And that's pretty much all, you know. Like people can say whatever they want, that we are lucky, or I mean, well, if I'm gonna make EWC every year like this, but people can call me lucky, you know. Like I don't really care, you know. Like I'm just doing my job by playing the game, you know. So.
It is deserved. I'm glad you're already putting out targets for the next stage, setting up storylines here as we speak. One more thing I'd like to ask you, just to get your opinion, Grubby. You already mentioned, you know, Fnatic, your former organization. The game before you guys, they got a pretty big upset against G2. How do you feel about that? Did you expect them to take down G2?
Well, I did not expect that, but I'm really happy for Deepak. To be fair, I love that guy, and I'm really proud of that guy, that finally, after so many years, after people like, you know, going crazy on him on Reddit and every stuff, like he finally showed that he's capable of playing the game and going to the events again, you know, and I'm just happy for them, you know, and same for Wizard, to be fair. Like I'm happy for all of them, you know, like it was a good game, they played better, and that's why they are there, right?
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your kind words, Grubby. Once again, a big congratulations on making it to EWC, and I guess we might see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week, lads. I'll be there.
There we go.
Good night.